Hello everybody, Friday's 18 here, and I finally am doing the first release of my new Naruto mod. It's in progress for a very long time, and I'm very happy to show it off. There's been a lot going on, and it came through. It's all done. Not all done actually. I'm still planning to add tons and tons more, but this is the first release, and I think there's more than enough to show off to justify a release. I mean, there's over 130 jutsu. There's a whole taijutsu system. There's some bosses. There's just so much to go over that I felt it was finally worth getting an official release. So that's what I decided to do. To anyone who hasn't been following along, this is going to be going over absolutely everything inside the mod as it is now. This is probably going to be a longer video, but I'm going to try to get through everything fast. It's just there is a lot to go over, so I'll try to go through this as fast as possible. I'm going to assume everyone watching this has not been following along. So first off, you have the data sheet. I'll go over this briefly. Ninjutsu, whenever you increase this, certain amounts of ninjutsu is maybe required for certain skill learners. Medical, this doesn't give any health boost right now. That hasn't been implemented, but it is required for certain skill learners and implanting and stuff. Senjutsu doesn't have any application right now, and Kenjutsu is going to be used for special things or sealing, so things like tailed beasts or forbidden scrolls or things like that. EXP, the way the EXP and leveling system works in this game is you get a set amount of XP based on how much what the max health of the thing you killed is. So I killed this guy, you can see I leveled up. You can see I gained some points. I also went, I increased my amount of XP. I went over the limit, which increased a little bit after I leveled up. Got my level, got some more points, and if you look in the top right corner, or top left corner, I'm sorry, you'd see I increased the amount of money I had too. Money will come and play in a second. Also for ninjutsu, just so you guys know, it increases by intervals of 5. Everything else increases by intervals of 1 except for senjutsu, but ninjutsu increases in intervals of 5. So if you increase it once, my chakra went up by 5. Now the clan's kind of a given. It goes over whatever clan you were born with. So when you do get new clan jutsus, you don't change your original clan. Your original clan is always going to be the same. I was born as Uchiha, so that's how my set clan is that. And I believe there is, I could be wrong, maybe I think 15, maybe 19 clans in the game right now. We'll go over it later. Bounty system, you get more bounty the more things you kill. This is going to come into play with multiplayer servers. You can take bounties from other people and convert it into money. Your rank, it starts off as Shinobi, and once you start the storyline, you go from, Genin, Chunin, Jonin, and above Jonin level. And then if we go over here, you got Taijutsu. The way Taijutsu and Kenjutsu both work is very similar. The only difference is that Taijutsu currently has a skill learner and Kenjutsu doesn't. So the higher the level is, the more damage you're going to do with the given thing. So Taijutsu's levels matter more than Kenjutsu, because you get, there's a skill learner where based on your Taijutsu it matters a bit more. But the main thing to take away from Taijutsu is you punch someone with your fist. You'll see some little effects, so some crit effects. You see when you hit someone with your sword, you'll see these little white effects. That's because you can see it's kicking in. So the way Taijutsu works is for every 100 levels you have in Taijutsu, you do an extra half heart of damage when you punch someone. For Kenjutsu, it's every 200 levels you do an extra half heart of damage, which may seem like a pretty decent amount for Kenjutsu, and I can understand why you say that, but you gotta understand Taijutsu has a lot more to offer. As a skill and all that stuff, whereas Kenjutsu, it is a path that people can take, and I'm not going against it. The only thing is, if you have a netherite sword and you have let's say 600 levels in there, you do an extra 3 damage on top of 8 already, whereas when it comes to fists, you're only doing 1 damage initially. So if you have 600 levels, now you're only doing 4 damage, so it's not crazy unfair. Whereas I feel like because you're only using swords when it comes to Taijutsu, when you're only using swords when it comes to Kenjutsu, it seems more fair to make it a higher amount. Also for the point system, I'll go over that briefly. Points are everything in this game, so when you increase a stat, when you learn new jutsu, it's everything in this game. So now time to start going over things specifically. Here's everything. Kekkei Genkai, Taijutsu, Elemental, and then Dojutsu, and then in the next chest we got all the clan jutsu, which is 12, not 19, sorry. And then you got some items in here that I can go over later. So starting off, we're going to do all these. So we're going to give ourselves a lot of points, which you guys can, I'll go over actually all those commands for a second. Set beast, so that's just beast you have. If you don't want to get natural, you want to cheat. Set beast level, 0 to 3, 0 being level 1, 3 being level 4 kind of thing. Set chakra, set your chakra amount. So we're going to set this to like a lot. We're going to have a lot of chakra to mess around with today. And then you also have set clan, you can set your clan anything, set eye, set your dojutsu, set points, set your taijutsu, set your timer. What this does is, I'll get to it later actually when we get to Untail Beast, but we're going to do set points again over here and just give ourselves another just ungodly amount of points. So to get these skill learners, the way it works is when you first spawn into a world, you get some items, mainly just a quest line, over here which I'll go over later. You get a clan ability and your clan skill learner, sorry, not ability. And then you also get some rewards because the mod hit 6,000 downloads, and that's pretty cool. You don't actually get your elementals till later in the quest line, so elementals aren't actually something you're gonna have for a little while, but I'm still gonna go over them. So the first one, Chidori Senbon. Something cool about this mod is it has animations. So for the Chidori Senbon, we're just gonna summon a husk. The husk is the best creature to like test stuff on. I think it has 20 health, which is why it's good. So you do some hand signs and you just shoot out a little Chidori Senbon. Really short cooldown, really short chakra take. Yeah. Kieran, on the other hand, it's I'll use it on something far away. Basically, wherever you're looking, strike your hand down, and a lightning strike happens there. It's kind of hard to see because of Optifine. I think it kind of screwed over my render distance, but I'll try it again in just a second once that cooldown's up. Which, by the way the cooldown system works is that it's your chakra times 5 is the amount it takes of the cooldown it takes. So this is 50 chakra times 5. You get it. Now we're gonna try this out. As you can see, we put our hand down and lightning strikes. A lot of lightning causes fires and stuff. So pretty good. And then for Chidori, we have a lot of innocent people here. We're gonna move away from these innocent people to go into Chidori. A bit of a lag spike there, but anyways, you put the hand signs, you run around for a second, and then you teleport to everyone around you. It's kind of hard to see because of the shaders making everything a bit laggier. We teleport to everything around you and deal a decent amount of damage. So yeah, that's lightning. Ooh, can't do that in third person, by the way, because it's wherever you're looking, so you're looking at yourself. But yeah, that's the way lightning works. Also for skill learners in this game, the way it works is you master your skill learner. It says 20 points on most everything. Some of them have 25, some of them have whatever, some of them have 30. That's talking about the overall amount it's going to take. So for the skill, for most things, it's going to take 5 points, and then 5 points, and then 10 points, totaling up to 20. But some are, if we go over to, let's say, 25 for this one. That's an example. And one second, I'll be right back. All right, sorry about that, I'm back. But anyways, it takes an iteration of it. So when it says 20 points, it means overall. So when it says 30 points over here, it means overall. Some other things to know is that once you have the item's completely maxed out now. So no matter what it is, it's completely maxed out. But if we were to get a new lightning skill learner, we can get everything all again. So it's per item basis what your level is. So if you lose a move, don't be too scared. You can always get another skill learner for it. Next we have water. Go over the water move real quick. Of course, I could keep showing off the cool hand signs and stuff, but you guys can kind of see it pretty easily. So I don't really know if you guys want to keep seeing me do stuff in F5. So we're just going to go over here. So the first move is Water Shotgun. Not a great move, but it's a beginner move. Only costs 5 points, and they're just going to cheat it pretty early. Now Water Prison is an AoE move, and a very strong one at that. So you're going to cast some hand signs, and then everybody around you is put in these bubbles and takes damage over time. Next is Shark Bubble. This one doesn't have any effects yet, but as you can see, it plays a little bubble effect, and then after some time, everyone around you takes some damage. Do gotta say, Water Prison is one of my favorite moves in the entire game, so very recently got that one working the way I want it to. So now Fireball Jutsu, I'm gonna go to F5 just because the hand signs, I like them a lot. Anyways, you shoot a bunch of random fireballs out, and they have a very big spread, but also the cooldown is very, very low. So it's very much like a shotgun move. You kind of just run at someone and use it. Now Massive Fireball Jutsu is a very emphasis on this. There's a lot of moves in this game that explode. Do them far away from yourself because there's a lot of people who explode. I don't know what's going on with that one. I think there's a model issue right now for the fireball, but no one looks way cooler than that. One sec. Oh, I don't know what's wrong with that. I think it might be because of the shaders. I'm not being able to see the models. One second. Let's turn the shaders off and see what that is. It could be not that. Maybe it's some other issue with my game. I do know though it has this giant, cool fireball shader on it. So. Not shaders, sorry. It's just saying shaders. What's it called? Model. So let's see if maybe this helps you out. Yeah. Okay. So I'm just gonna keep shaders off actually, but you can't see the models when I don't. One sec. Which, by the way, I don't think that's an issue with the mod. I think it's an issue with Optifine and maybe this specific shader I'm using probably. So. I'm gonna go over here. Fire blaze is simple. Let everything around you on fire. Yeah, very very simple. Next we got. One second. Okay. Next we got the Earth Scroll. Okay, so the first move is the boulder throw. I'll be honest, this one isn't that cool. It's a short range projectile that does a decent amount of knockback. Yeah, that's how that one works. Ground smash, a bit cooler. Smash the ground, everything around you takes a decent amount of damage. And you got Earth Dragon. Now, Earth Dragon, if I'm not wrong... Yeah, so what it does is it plays the break effect of the nearest block that's like a rock block, and then it does that. I'm going to use Ground Smash again because that one is pretty nice. Yeah, there we go. Also, if you think some of these aren't the coolest, I promise you there's a lot cooler stuff in this mod. It's just these are the elementals, so yeah. They're not that crazy. Next, we got the Wind Release. So the first one, Wind Blast. Shoot a big blast of air out. Air Slice. Shoot a small little slice of air out. And Rasengan. So the way this one works, one cooldown, but you summon a Rasengan, and when you use the Rasengan, hit someone with it, and they just move in a random direction and then explode. Yeah, and of course, this is a one-time move only. The only reason it's staying in my inventory is because I'm creative. Next, actually we can move on to the fun stuff now. I think we're on to... Sorry, I think my dog just dropped something. Anyways, we can move on to the fun stuff now. So, I said before you get to Taijutsu or any of the rest of this stuff, we do KKGs first. So, Smoke or Iburi. Come over here. And we just do the Iburi smoke form first. So when you go into your smoke form, you are pretty much invincible, but also in the sunlight you take wither damage if you're in survival, obviously. So yeah, pretty basic move. I'm gonna go to F5. You guys can see. You guys can understand that hand signs for all this stuff. One second. Prove it one last time. Yeah, that's a little smoke fist. And then this one is actually very cool, and I will do this one in F5 because it's good effects. Over here, smoke possession. You shoot a projectile at someone and you stay on them for a little bit and then make them bleed after a certain amount of time. And if you're curious what that ring around their feet was, that is the Genjutsu system in this game. So whenever someone's under a Genjutsu or some kind of like confusion ability, they'll have a ring around them so you can be able to tell what what's going on with them. And that'll showcase a lot more later when it comes to like things like Kurama and Katsuruga and things like Sharingan, obviously, that have a lot more emphasis on Genjutsu. But for right now, going over all the basic stuff. So ice is a pretty fun one. You get the ice mirror. Missed the ice mirror. We'll get back to the ice mirror. But we got the husks. So icy hail, what it does is everything around you, a little like snow particle kind of falls on them, and then when it hits them, it does a lot of damage. And then ice shards is a pretty basic ability. And you just shoot a bunch of ice shards out. Not very exciting. Altogether, ice mirror and icy hail are definitely the big redeemers of this specific thing. So we're gonna try that again. Ice mirrors. There you go. So you can see we teleport all over the place, leaving particles wherever we go, and each time we do teleport, we do damage for them. So that's ice. Moving on, we got crystal, and I will say crystal and bone are very similar. So when it comes to the bone, later you'll see that. Anyways, you got the crystal armor. Just gives res 3. Pretty good. It's not bad. And you get those little purple effects. Crystal blade. So you pull a crystal blade out of your arm, And the cool thing about the Crystal Blade and the Bone, coming from the Bone clan later on, is they also fall in the Kenjutsu. So that was inconvenient, but okay, doing a lot of damage right now. Oh, it does 9 damage, which I think is just outside the range of the husks. Yeah, okay, there we go. So these guys are all low. This sword isn't overpowered, I promise. So the sword, you can see, yeah, does a couple slashes. Now, also a couple things we got to go over real quick. The reason I'm leveling up so much is because once again, each of these husks has 20 XP each that they give to you because of their health. I have 35 max age, like my EXP cap is on 35 right now. So every time I kill 2 husks, you're gonna see I level up, and then my EXP cap goes up. And then as for the tool, it'll break very quickly. I think it has 2 uses in it before it breaks, so pretty good. Next we got crystal spikes. Everything around you has these little spikes come out of them. First one goes up, second one goes up, it does damage. Next we got wood. So for wood, you got wooden fist barrage. Shoot a barrage of wood things at him. And then, so that's the damage move for wood, is that wooden fish barrage. The next one is a stun move, wood dragon, and when you hit someone with it, they cannot move for about 3 seconds. It's really not that much of a thing. That's the reason the Genjutsu particle effects only come out, is because it's not really a Genjutsu, it's just kind of a bind. Like they just can't move. Yeah. But then once again, wooden fist barrage, I'll show that off in like first person. And then lastly, you got the 1000 arm jutsu. Basically, call a bunch of arms down, they strike everybody, and you go up a little bit. Very, honestly, pretty good jutsu. Bubble's a really fun one. Honestly, Bubble's just a very good overall KKG. So you got the sticky bubble. This is a stun move. God, all these guys are at low health because of me. But sticky bubble basically just stuns them. Nothing really to say about that one. Before we get, and then bubble drift. Bubble drift is a fun one. You go into a bubble ball, and then you explode after a certain amount of time. And that's always cool. I'll go over sticky bubble one last time. So yeah, you just stun them. And then bubble blast is very good. Yeah, so once you hit it with them, it shoots them up in the air and makes them explode. Very good. And once again, I'll show off bubble drift again, because this is one of my favorite jutsu in the game. I love this one. Yeah. Go on to the next thing. We got boil. Boil's fun. So first move, boil is the boiling cloud, which does put the Genjutsu effect on them, because it blinds them and also stuns them. Yep, so you see that little effect. It's just an AoE. Boiling ball works kind of like the fireball, but a little bit different. Has a slightly bigger, of course, like range, but also doesn't catch anything on fire. And then boiling strength is simple. You do a little mode animation, and then you just get a decent amount of stats. Yeah. Boil isn't too crazy, but contains like an AoE stun, you know, pseudo fireball. It's pretty good. Lava only has 2 moves. The reason is because lava kind of sucks in the show itself, and when it doesn't suck, it's just hard to add to Minecraft. It's not the easiest thing to add to Minecraft. But you get these little fireballs, you get ash rocks, and then you get the corrosive quicklime. Shoot this at someone, and it basically just stuns them, and it also does some damage to them on impact. So lava's not that great, I'll be honest, but kind of hard to make that one good. Clay, on the other hand, is amazing. So first thing of clay is the clay bird summon. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with this one. The model doesn't look that cool, I'll be honest, but also I was kind of threw this together last minute. But you do get this really cool effect of being able to, like, you know, fly around on a clay bird. Yeah, I mean, that's all there is to this first move. Not very exciting, but flying around on a clay bird that kind of looks like an owl. Yeah, that's all there is to say about that one. Also, it will despawn naturally. I was gonna make it so it kills immediately, but also the good part about having it is that you're able to hop back on it. So it will despawn by itself, of course, but you can also just right click it. Oh, if I can get to it, one sec, there we go. You right click it to get back on it, and this is of course good because it lets you, you know, have a little getaway flight thing. Also, it's the only thing in the entire game that has that, so it's pretty nice. Clay birds Pretty simple. Just shoot out a bunch of clay burgers and they explode on impact. C3, well, let's look at C3. Yeah, so drops a giant C3 down to the sky and then explodes on impact. Very high chakra cost. Yeah, it's just really good move for a KKG. You will see things like that, like giant things falling from the sky and exploding in the future. I'm not going to spoil anything, but yeah. So next you got bone, spiky skin. I can't really show this because I want to go in and out of creative mode, but you just cast it, and while you have these little particles on you, anything that attacks you takes 3 times the damage they hit you with. So pretty good. As for bone eruption, like I said, this is bone and crystal are kind of one and the same, but just slight different things. So for example, spiky skin doesn't have any resistance, but it has like the thorns effect. And then you have bone eruption, which does more damage, but also costs more chakra. And then you have Bone Blade Summon, which once again, pull a thing out of your arm, and it also follows the rules of Kenjutsu, so if you were to use this. It also does have that cool particle effect too. But yeah, so basically one and the same. They just have slightly different things for whatever playstyle you're going with at that given time. So next, we only got a couple KKGs left, and we gotta move on to all the really fun stuff because honestly the KKGs are not the fun part compared to a lot of other stuff. So we got the Scorch Balls. You activate this and you have these little effects on you, and what these effects allow you to do is use every other move. So you have Scorch Pellet, for example. Shoot a little pellet, your Scorch Balls, you have that little effect. And then Scorch Bomb, which is the really fun one, honestly. So we're gonna have a bunch of people here. You have to have your Scorch Balls active, call this baby down, and it's a giant exploding ball. Yeah, you get these Scorch Balls effect, and I don't know, it's not great, but it's pretty unique. So I like it. Next we got the True Seeking Orbs. For these ones, you get the first one, the True Seeking Orb. You just shoot a little True Seeking Orb at someone. It just does a lot of damage, and it's probably one of the better projectiles in the game. Costs 100 chakra, but does the most damage of anything in this game. Also, sorry if my voice gets shaky for a second. My dog is trying to lick my arm, and I'm not trying to have him lick my arm right now. Next, we got the True Seeking Shield. So while you're holding shift, you get these little particle effects on you, and you are invincible. You are unable to be killed, but at the same time, you have to hold shift, and it drains 60 chakra per second, which is a lot. It might not seem like a lot, because I have an ungodly amount of chakra, but I promise it's a lot. And then Chakra Bomb is the final move. That seems rare, I think. Chakra Bomb is the final move. You call down a giant chakra ball, it'll send everything up into the sky, explode it, and then send them back down. So very good, and I promise you cannot get this one easily at all. That last thing. And then before we get to the Dojutsu, I'll go over Taijutsu real quick. So yeah, so you need a certain levels of Taijutsu to be able to even use the skill learner. You can get a skill learner. You don't spawn with it, but you can get it through the menu. You just click Get Skill Learner. You get the skill learner. Yeah, so we're gonna do set Tai and just ignore all the process. Which, by the way, I will say Tai does have a lot of Tai requirements. Like the requirements are very high, but at the same time, Taijutsu is one of those skills where the whole point of it is that it takes a lot to, like, you know, and it's representing hard work and all that. So I feel like it's fair that it takes a lot. Also, once you're at level 300, you'll be doing an extra 3 hearts of damage per every punch. So 4 damage when you're punching someone. Yeah, so we're gonna use all the moves in the skill line real quick. And do we max it? Yeah, we did leave one out there. So we're gonna go over here, and so we got Leaf Whirlwind. So you just kick everything around you. Little AoE. Dynamic Entry is just a kick, does some damage. Leaf Hurricane, you shoot everything around you into the air, pretty high, so fall damage. 8 gates. Oh, I can use it actually. Yeah, okay, so because I'm level 300, based on your Taijutsu level, it puts you in a different 8th gate. So if you're like, so every 25 levels basically, you get another 8th gate. So if you're level like 100, you get the first gate, 125, second gate, 150, third gate, until you hit level 300 where you get the 8th gate. Yeah, then you just shift click to turn it off. Yeah, not that exciting. And then you get Front Lotus, pretty exciting. Shoot someone in the air, teleport to them and kick them back down, dealing some damage. Which, by the way, all these moves they do a base amount of damage, and they also do a extra bonus based on your taijutsu. For example, Leaf Hurricane, if we were to like set to something like 99999, and then we spawn something in, you can see it just insta kills because it's based on your taijutsu level. So a really high taijutsu level means your moves are getting better. And this is kind of why some of the taijutsu moves might not feel like cool or might not do that much. I promise they're great because they're one of the only things in this game that scales exponentially. So you're really getting your money's worth on this one. Next is Night Phoenix. Kick, another kick. But this time when you kick, anything that's in your path will be lit on fire. Reverse Lotus is an AoE of the other move, but it does more damage. So yeah. It does take some damage off of you though. So basically it does so the way all these work is it does an extra boost plus so it does a base stat plus your taijutsu divided by 100. So what this does is it does your taijutsu divided by 100 at the end of it. So if you have 3000 taijutsu, it does a lot of damage to you. If you have 300 taijutsu, it doesn't do that much damage to you. But also you're doing the same amount of damage to other people, so it feels fair. Then Evening Elephant, another kick, but a really high damage kick, and then everything around you, whatever you hit with it explodes afterwards. And we're gonna go over Night Phoenix again real quick so you guys can, or is it Night Phoenix? I think so. The fire one, yeah. So as you can see, it hits everything that you kick. It's not just like the first thing, no, it hits everything. Of course, Front Lotus is always fun. Yeah. So that's going to be the taijutsu for right now. Of course, when you see a lot of stuff, it feels finished. It's probably because it is. Like taijutsu obviously has a lot more to offer, and I plan to add it. It's just right now, nothing to really touch on that one. Oh man, now we got all the dojutsu to go over, which are very fun. So the way this system works is you get a random scalpel for either your left or your right eye, because you're allowed to have both. You can have like Sharingan on your right eye and Byakugan on your left, Rinnegan on your whatever. And they work. So if we were to, we need medical, I forgot about that. So I'm gonna get this up real quick. It'll take that much time. I just don't want it to be too clicky. It's got a new mouse and all that stuff, and it's a little bit clicky. Don't want you guys to have to hear that, but here we go. So you implant it in yourself, and now we have the Byakugan. As you can see, if you turn on your Dojutsu, have that little effect. And now, because you have, this is only specific to the Byakugan, but if you're around something, you can see the chakra level of it. Because these are obviously like NPCs, like husks, they don't have a chakra level. So there's a 0, but it says their username and their chakra level. So if you're around players, you'd be able to see how much chakra they have. Now on to the moves. First move is Air Palm. Pretty basic. Shoot an Air Palm. Low cooldown. Decent damage. Also, oh my god, I can't believe I forgot about this. So when it comes to the Byakugan, one of the main things about it is when you hit something, you may see the crit effects and you're like, oh, it's because of Taijutsu. No, it's also because you are taking their chakra away, and that's not just because of your fist. If I was to do anything, so if I was to just grab Air Palm and hit someone with it, you'd see the little effects. That's because you are literally stealing their chakra. It is very broken because not only hitting, every move you do while your Byakugan's active will steal their chakra the amount that you hit them for. So Air Palm, if I hit them for like, I don't know, 4 damage or whatever, they just lost 4 chakra. So it can be pretty good for the moves that take a lot of damage. So next we got 64 trigrams. Cast it, get these little blue effects, and then you teleport to everybody and deal a decent amount of damage. It may not seem like you teleport to everybody. It's really fast. It's within a tick, so it's pretty much impossible to see. But yeah. Also, if you're curious about the white particle, we don't have any effects in this game, or like eye effects. That was in the last mod, but it honestly just takes a lot of work. And I'm a solo dev working on this, so it's coming eventually. But for right now, you just get these cool little trail effects, and they do mix. So if I have the Sharingan later, you're gonna be able to see that we mix that up. Anyways, so yeah, Air Palm, 64 trigrams. You just AoE these little effects and all that. Teleport and kill them. Not always kill them, but do a decent amount of damage. And then ultimate defense, which is very cool. What it does is, actually this is a single thing. So you go into this little pose and into this little ball, and have all these little effects running around you. Basically, you're unkillable while you're in that. So while you're in here, you deflect every attack that hits you. Pretty good. Pretty good altogether, Byakugan. really one of the better things. Next we got the Kitsurigan. Now for the Kitsurigan, I was really wondering how to do this one. Oh, is this the left eye? I hope it is, because then we can see the, yeah, you can see the particles start mixing when you have the both eyes. So we have the left eye as our Kitsurigan, right eye as our Byakugan, which means we can use the moves from each of them, obviously. So the way the Kitsurigan works is it's all Genjutsu based. Every single one, they just do different Genjutsu. So for the first one, Bloody Genjutsu. Need to turn my eyes on. Don't know why I didn't think about that. So we're gonna go with the explosive. Actually, wait, this is a short cooldown, but yeah. So it's all just Genjutsu for Kitsurigan. There's 2 clans that are all Genjutsu, and surprisingly, the other one's not Sharingan. The other one is the Kurama clan. But anyways, Bloody Genjutsu, hit someone with it. They have these blood effects. Whenever you have a what is it? Sorry, Kitsurigan Genjutsu. It has blood effects on it, just so you can tell that you hit him. So yeah, this one, if you're curious about what it's actually doing right now, it's just like a stage 3 Genjutsu. Stage 1 and 2 are very minor. You're gonna see that for things like the boil release and all that. Stage 4 is reserved specifically for Tsukiyomi, and stage 3 is slowness to the point where they can't move, blindness, weakness, and nausea, and that kind of stuff. So just a real icky group of things. So that's what the first one does. Yeah. And then you got the explosive one, cast on them, and then after a little bit of time, boom. Yeah. Bet you would have never expected that one. The mental Genjutsu, you're not really able to see this one because it's on, these guys instead of players. But if it's on a player, you're gonna see an animation of them actually like cutting themselves with their own sword to kind of show the fact that you control them to do that, and it does a decent amount of damage. So that's Kitsurigan. Overall, very nice. Now Sharingan is a lot. We're gonna go over that later. Tensagan, not a lot. So basically, as you can see, we have Byakugan in our right eye. So when we use our Tensagan skill learner, it goes into our right eye. So if we activate our Dojutsu, you can see we're floating because Tensagan, and the other thing is you have the Kitsurigan still in your left eye, but now our right eye is changed because, whatever. This is case specific. Obviously, this isn't for everything. It's going to be the exact same, but yeah. So now, True Seeking Orb Barrage is our first move. We just shoot a bunch of orbs out. They do pre damage. And then Body of Creation, you cast some hand signs, and everything around you starts to shine, and you just see everything. Alright, I'm sorry, I'm back. Anyways, so then you got the Disruption Beam, where you do some hand signs, and you just shoot at a beam. The beam does a decent amount of damage, and it also gives nausea to whoever you hit. So you got the True Seeking Orbs, you got the Body of Creation, and you got the Disruption Beam. Now, this may seem like not that crazy. You look at the Byakugan, you look at this, not that crazy, both of them independently. But you gotta remember, by having the Tensagan, you also have access to the Byakugan moves. So that's 6 moves, all varying, very different things, which, between the Tensagan and the Byakugan, there's a lot to work with between both of them. So we're just gonna do our set eye to just nothing. This is just gonna make it so when we turn on our Dojutsu, there's nothing there. Yeah, not just effects or anything, like we just don't have any eyes in right now, so we can't use anything. The reason I did that is just in case I accidentally hit it. I don't want to go into any modes or anything. Oh man, Sharingan's gotta go first. So the way the Sharingan works is you use the skill learner, and that's the only thing you get. You get the left eye scalpel and you get a new Chihan. So we can actually scrap that whole thing altogether, put the Sharingan in our left eye. As you can see, if we activate our Dojutsu, we have the red particles now. And the way the Sharingan works is that every time we kill something, we level it up a bit. Now, it has I believe 1 out of 25 chance, maybe 1 out of 30, that every time you kill something with your Sharingan active, it increases the, Sharingan amount of Tomos, and you get a move. The Uchiha letter basically just says kill stuff. Anyways, I could show you the whole process of like killing stuff and then getting a new move. What I'm gonna do instead is just, we can do, actually, I kind of want to show you guys the process. It's not that bad. Once again, the stats aren't that crazy. When it comes to the Mangekyo, I'm going to cheat on that one because the Mangekyo has a 0.33, no. Sorry, 0.2% chance. Not that bad. Later on in the future, though, you're going to see it's a lot different. Things, the amounts are a lot more. So, like, okay, actually, I didn't clarify Tensagan. I'm sorry. So, for the Mangekyo and the Tensagan, okay, well, sorry. For the power, oh my god, sorry, so much stuff happening at the same time. To get the Tensegan and the Mangekyo, it is a 0.2%. It is a 2% chance from killing something while you have the given thing active. So if you have Sharingan active and it's 3 Tomo, you can unlock the Mangekyo with a 2% chance. If you have your Byakugan active, you can unlock your Tensegan with a 2% chance. And I'll get over Rinnegan in a little bit, but it's a 0.3% chance. Anyways, first Tomo move, we have Crow Evasion to teleportation move, and you leave some bats behind you. Very short cooldown though, and also very short chakra cost. So overall, just pretty good. And I'm also realizing now there's a much faster way to do this. If we just set our tie to like some crazy number, we actually set ourselves up pretty well because we can one-shot everything. So yeah. It's only wrong. I wanted one. Just set. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Ooh, that is not nearly enough. There we go. That'll one-shot stuff. Sorry about this little like detour, but I feel like it's cool to show off the Sharingan actual stuff. But anyways, you can see how it works. So you get nausea, and then you know, get your stuff. I wonder if I can do it. I think I'm gonna XP. Yeah. Oh, I'm not gonna. Yeah, I'm messing up eventually. 1 sec. 300. I think because it's dealing the extra damage because of the Taijutsu, it's not registering. Don't worry about it. It's nothing to worry about. It'll be fixed. But anyways, go in here, just murder all these guys, and hopefully level up our Sharingan a bit quicker. This is getting kind of crazy how long it's taking. There we go. So we're going to get our 2-tone move, which is the shackling stage genjutsu. We're going to take some, woozy effects and all that, nausea for a little bit. Only 10 seconds, I think. And then you get to use, by the way, each time you level up your Sharingan, you start with speed 1 and strength 1, 1 tomo get you, sorry. Start with speed and strength 0, and then you get 1 tomo, which gives you 1, and then 2 tomo, which gives you 3, and yeah, so that's it. That's what the system works. Anyways, you click someone, you put them under a genjutsu. It lasts a decent amount of time. It's not a bad genjutsu by any means. Doesn't do any damage like Tsukiyomi or things like that, but it's just a good genjutsu. And once again, you can kind of click on everyone from like, as long as someone's in your vision, you can click on them, and it puts them in the genjutsu. So pretty good. And now the main reason I decided to do this instead of just doing a command is, there we go, that right there, the passive Izanagi. We got the 3 tomo now, increase our strength and stuff, got our nausea for a little bit, and I could show off Izanagi. As for what else happened to Sharingan, nothing until Mangekyo, so I'm not even gonna bother going over that. So first, let's just set a bed down, just so I can respawn here. Respawn upon sit, and this guy works perfectly. So we're gonna go into survival, and you'll be able to see how Izanagi works. So yeah, well, once you get basically to death, Izanagi. Oh man. Okay. I guess I got a tailed beast at some point. I think when I was experimenting. Don't know why that is, but okay. 1 sec. Hello everybody, I'm so sorry about that. I looked back at the recording. When I was just getting everything set up, I had the 1 out of 100 chance of becoming a tailed beast, and I guess it just happened. It was a very rare chance, and it just occurred apparently, which is why it kind of threw me off a bit. You don't spawn as a tailed beast. There is a 1 in 100 chance, and I just got that 1 in 100 chance for some reason. Moving on though, I think before I get to everything that just happened, let's see if the Izanagi will activate. I think there's a chance to eat. Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry. So you have to die for the Izanagi to activate. I forgot about that. I thought you said to get to low health. So you saw we died. We got the full health before I went into creative, and then you get Izanagi timer. Basically, this is how long it's going to take. So 300 seconds before we're able to, use Izanagi again. So before it'll activate again. Now, I think this is a good time before I go to the Rinnegan, because this involves the Mangekyo, to go over the Mangekyo. And for the Mangekyo, basically, like I said, there's 10 moves for it. I'll go over all 10 moves. But also for the Mangekyo, to get it, there's a 2% chance or 3% chance when you're killing something with the 3 tomos activated that you get the Mangekyo. So, yeah. Anyways, first move is Eternal Sun God. This is an AoE genjutsu, very strong AoE genjutsu. Yeah, so everything around you, and you just keep walking, like nothing happened. Also, most of these moves don't have hand signs. There are some that do when they're really overpowered, but most of them don't. So this one's kind of like teleportation. It has two things. So the first one is you can teleport, or you can shift click someone to teleport a kunai into them. So it's like it's the longest range actually damage move in the game, because wherever you're looking, if you click on them. Okay, so that's that's the 9th move, prize shift, and this happens. So I'll explain that in a second. Yeah, actually, let me just. No, it's not worth it. But basically, you teleport with the first click, and then if you shift click, you teleport a kunai into somebody. So pretty good combo move. Next one's Amaterasu. Look at someone, click them, they light on fire for a very long time. So yeah. Tsukiyomi. Cast it on someone during a genjutsu. Also multi-hits, by the way. Most of these things multi-hit, so if they're next to each other, hit both of them. Yeah, so it puts them in a really strong genjutsu. And, I should deal with that in a fun way soon. Yeah, but puts them in a genjutsu and deals damage to them over time. This next one, object manipulation. You just fling a very strong sword at them. The Shin thing from Boruto. I have not watched Boruto, I just know that he flings sharp pieces of metal at people. So, yeah. Next, we got Kagosuchi. Click somewhere, and yeah, that'll happen, which will light everyone in the immediate area up, and then the explosion hits all the way out here. Pretty good. Once again, it's wherever you're looking. Object manipulation again. Time manipulation. This one objectively is not that cool, but at some point I'm going to give it a second use, like the Kamui thing, where you can shift and click it. Because right now all it does is it plays that little particle, everyone around you gets super slow, and you get super fast. That's time manipulation. Not that cool. Then we got time reversal, which is very cool. You set a point in time. You couldn't see it because my Izanagi timer is blocking out the text. You set a point in time, and then after a few seconds, you teleport back to it. This may not seem really cool, like I proclaimed it to be. It's really cool because what it does is it saves your position, but also your current health at the time. So when you teleport back with your current health. There's of course to replicate the Madara move that he uses, where you can turn back time. So yeah, you can kind of use this, rush into a fight, do some move, and then whatever. And to elaborate for the Mangekyo before I go over the last two moves, which are passives, or not passives, but shift moves. Once you unlock your Mangekyo, you get 2 random Mangekyo moves. Yeah, so that's why there's so many. Is that you're getting 2 random ones. Now for the first, sorry about that. But anyways, for the first or for the 9th one, what happens is you hold shift and you go into Kamui mode, so you can't see anything, but you're also invincible. So even though everything's kind of blinking in and out for you, you are invincible, and the only thing that people can see of you, everything else is hidden, is your, Sharingan trail. So it's the first one, unshift, and you're out of it. And then the next one is Wicked Eye, which I'm not going to show off because it requires me getting every single Mangekyo move again, and also it's not that crazy to show off. Basically what it is while you're holding shift, if someone hits you, they get put in a genjutsu, so it's like a counter, basically. So yeah, not that crazy, but not bad by any means. Now on to, there's the Rinnegan. I don't know what you want to do first, the Rinnegan or all the clan stuff, because there is a lot more to get through. I have barely even touched the surface of what I've added to this mod, but I'll add the Rinnegan. Alright, so go to the command to get Rinnegan, because I don't want to go through the process. But basically, you have to have a Mangekyo, and you have to have Hashirama DNA, which I'll go over later, and you get the Rinnegan. Now, the way the Rinnegan works is so for the Mangekyo, you get like 2 moves. Rinnegan is not like that. You can get every move in the game, or every move for the Rinnegan. The only thing to consider is the fact that the Rinnegan, it costs an ungodly amount of points as you get to the really good stuff. Each of these are costing a ton of points. But you get a lot of cool stuff. So for example, Shinro Tensei, I think there's a push move, yeah. So get near somebody, and we should actually get our husks back out for testing and all that. So it basically pushes everything around you away to wherever you're looking. So if we're looking over there, gotta have the Rinnegan. Okay, yeah, I don't know why I didn't think about this. So the way the Rinnegan Mangekyo system works is you shift click and you switch to Rinnegan, or you shift click and switch to Mangekyo. So that's the way you can switch between them. And now something else about this system is it doesn't require both eyes. So if your left eye is Mangekyo, you get Rinnegan. Then when you do this whole system, you're only changing your left eye between Rinnegan and Mangekyo. So if your right eye is Byakugan, it's gonna stay that way the entire time. But yeah, don't know why I didn't think about that. Anyway, Shinro Tensei, shoot everything wherever you're looking. Not indefinitely, but a decent amount. Bansho Tenin, whatever you're looking at to you, including that random squid that was somewhere in the ocean. Very powerful, I guess. Running teleportation move. King of Hell. Yeah, not seem like it's doing anything, but everything around me just got healed pretty well. So it got healed back to full actually. Everything around me. Limbo Genjutsu. You shoot a little Genjutsu at someone and put someone under a strong Genjutsu. Limbo Clones. Kind of just summon some clones, hit something, and they'll chase after it, and they're all invisible and unkillable, and they'll delete themselves after a little bit, but summons 3 of them. They're pretty strong, and they'll just defend you. Chakra absorption. You put your hand out, and you get these little like purple effects, and basically you're absorbing chakra. So everything that hits you gets turned into chakra, and then you shoot a ball, and that ball didn't do much damage because I didn't get hit at all. But assuming I got hit, that ball would have done a lot of damage. The more damage you take, the more damage the ball does. And then we got Black Chakra Rush. Remember, this is all going in order, so if it gets really OP, you're like, how did they have access to all that? They have to do a lot of work. They get the Rinnegan. Once they get the Rinnegan, they have to spend all the points on it, which is a lot of points. Anyways, we got the Black Chakra Rods. And if you're wondering why this is all the way over here, and even has a hand sign to it, it's not that cool. It just highlights them. Nothing crazy about that. What's really, really, really cool about this is that when they hit somebody, it deactivates their Sharingan and Tailed Beast. So if this is your mid-fight, it may cost 200 chakra, but you can just disable their Sharingan or Byakugan or 9 tails or whatever. So yeah, also there's no limit on this. This can be used on a 10 tails and disable it. They can just turn it back on. They're not stopped from turning it back on, but damn is it like inconvenient as hell and very good to battle. Next we got Tengai Shaishin. Cast some hand signs and then drop 2 giant meteors on somebody. Yeah. Pretty good. And then the coolest move in the game, arguably, I love this move so much, is Chibaki Tensei. Cast your hand signs. They hover up and they get teleported all together, and they're going to do a ton of damage. And it makes this cool little ball of entities and dirt and stuff. And yeah, it's pretty good. And you can just see the ball start to fade away. Yeah, Chibaki Tensei is really good. So that's the Rinnegan. Debatably very, very overpowered, but I don't know. I think it's not too crazy considering how hard it is to get. But now we get to get on to all the clan jutsu. Very fun. So first is Aburame. Can just summon some guys here to go over this. First move, Jar of Poison. It's just an AoE poison move. Places a little particles on them. Yeah, it does poison and wither actually. So very, very deadly. Shokaichu. Basically, I believe. Yeah, so you just shoot a little bug at someone. If it hits them, it just makes them glow for a very long time. And then Insect Bog. You just shoot a giant collection of insects. This is actually the exact move I would think Mathiox had. And the only difference about this one is it drains a lot of chakra for when it hits people. So yeah, Aburame, pretty good. Next we got Puppet. So we got the Black Ant Blade Barrage. You just shoot a shotgun and blade at people. They don't do that much damage, but if every one of them hits, it's pretty good. Black Iron Sand Coffin. It puts in this thing and they take a lot of damage. Puppet Body. Looks like this. You just start piecing back and forth together. Now, the reason this Puppet Body makes the entire puppet, skiller and clan very, very overpowered is because of what it does, which is if you get killed while doing this, it has the same effect as Izanagi, where it resets you back and basically you just simply don't die. very, very good. It lasts for 25 seconds. Yeah. I mean, it's not overpowered, but it's pretty good. Pretty damn good. Next we got Inuzuka. Alright, so Inuzuka. The first one's dynamic marking. Don't really want to explain this one. You just kind of pee on someone and it highlights them for a little bit. None of these moves take any chakra, by the way. Oh, take that back, actually. The good ones take chakra. Not peeing on people, though. That's free. So the first one you get is Katsuga. Yeah, so you just kind of dash at someone. Pretty good, though. I mean, it does a decent amount of damage, apparently. I made the mod and I didn't know that. But it also is piercing, so it goes through them. Kind of cool. Then Fang over Fang. If that hit somebody, it would have exploded. I think because it hit the block, it didn't do anything. But it hit someone, it explodes. Katsuga. You can actually hit a lot of people with that. Didn't know this clan was actually good. I mean, obviously I meant to make it good, but Katsuga's kind of cool, actually. I'm going to be honest. Anyways, Fang over Fang, let's do this again. Use it on somebody, they'll explode. Yeah. Next, we got Yamanaka. Yamanaka only has 2 moves, but they're very good. Got stuck in the pole. So the first one, Mind Transfer. If you hit someone, you both get slowed. And it's one of the same things as Katsurigun? Yeah. Where you both cut each other. And yeah, that's the way that one works. And then this next one is the exact same, only it's an AoE. Literally identical to the other move, only it's an AoE that time. Yeah, Yamanaka doesn't have that much stuff that could apply to Minecraft, but those 2 things are cool. Next you got Shadow, which is very, very cool. I like Shadow a lot. There are some clans that are objectively better by accident, but everything has their place, obviously. But I like Shadow a lot. So first thing, nothing happened. And you're like, why is it so short? Why is the range so short on that? It's because of the time of day. Basically during daytime or evening, the shadow is actually, it doesn't go that far. Shadow floor and shadow intimidation or imitation, they don't go that far. But when it's nighttime, they go super far. Yeah. But since it's daytime, we're just gonna have to get real close and personal, hit them. We both get stunned, and they get that cool black particle under their feet. Yeah. And then shadow floor. We're just gonna get a bunch of guys around us. Go over here a little bit. Shadow floor. Everyone gets put in it around you. And then shadow strangle does a decent amount of damage. Basically, what happens is everybody in your shadow effect. So if they have the black circle under them, that can be from shadow imitation or shadow floor, and you shadow strangle them. Everything that has that effect will take damage. So every single one affected by your shadows takes damage. And then moving on. Over here we got Vine. So I'm not going to use the first move. Basically what Mayfly does is it puts you in spectator mode for a whole minute. It's pretty good. I just don't want to use it because I don't want to be in spectator mode for a whole minute. But that's what it does, costs under 20 chakra. Next move, Vine Attack. These 2 are AoEs. So Vine Attack, cast it, they do little effects, and it shoots into the sky and does some damage. Ground Rising is an AoE explosion, so you cast it and they just explode. Yeah. Nothing too crazy to say about Vine, except for the fact that it has that 1 minute spectator mode. Fuma Clan is pretty good. The first move, I'm used to my husk being there. Anyways, first move is a shuriken, so you just pull your shuriken out your back pocket and throw it at someone. This may not seem that good, and it's because it's not, but it does have a low cooldown, so you can kind of spam it. Doesn't do that much damage. I promise these guys are all very low health. Curse Mandala. What this one will do is shoot at someone, and their particle down there will progressively get smaller and smaller by dealing more and more damage over time. And then Chakra Threading is very overpowered. So what it does is you cast it, and then everything around you has these blue particles. Oh man, I wonder what those are doing. Basically what's happening is that everything around you, when you have this effect on for like 5 seconds or whatever, is all threaded to your heart. So if you take any damage, it's multiplied by 3 to everyone in a 30 block radius of you. I think I lowered it to 10 block actually because 30 was pretty overpowered, but yeah, so it's very good for wiping out hordes and stuff. So I imagine this mod will be probably use other mods. And so if you have a horde of stuff coming at you, use that. It'll affect all of them, and it's when big hits you, it will reflect that times 3 to everybody. So pretty good from yeah, good from home. Next we got Hoshigaki. So you get Shark Sage, so you cast it, and then get this cool stage mode, where, not really stage mode I guess, but you can really fast in water and stuff, you have a lot of strength, a lot of speed, you get these cool particle effects. Yeah. And then you got Shark Bomb, which you shoot, yeah, explodes on impact. It's like, ooh, I don't know how it went over there, that's kind of cool. And then you got Water Gun, which just shoots a bunch of little water bullets. So, yeah, that's Hoshigaki. Not the craziest thing. Last mod was very, very overpowered, but it's pretty good. Now, Kurama is one of the coolest clans in the game. Was not in every other Naruto mod. It's not that cool, but I personally just made it really cool for some reason. Oh, also, I forgot to mention this. When your Rinnegan's active, you don't get blindness, nausea, or darkness, which is all visual effects. So you're immune to visual effects. Not Genjutsu, just visual effects. So now you got Wolfang, basically everything around you. They put in a Genjutsu, and on their end, they hear like barks coming closer, like bark, and it gets louder and louder. But it's, if you haven't seen the show, what the Kurama clan does is it makes Genjutsu so realistic they actually bend into reality, which is why you're able to see it. So yeah, the Black Sun, pretty cool. Guy's fast, we're not gonna put on him, but I mean, this is a shooting one. See, I missed him. I guess it hit him with like half a particle or something. So we're going to go over that in a second, I guess. Black Hole, though, is pretty cool. It's another AoE. Basically, everyone goes into that. They have a black hole above their head, and then it shoots into the sky. Wolfing, again, I'll show this off because I like it. Wolf just comes and attacks. And then Black Sun. Let's cast that one more time on this guy. Yeah, there you go. You can see they have a black sun above them, and they're burning because the sun Genjutsu is so real that it's actually burning them alive. Reset our inventory and move on to the next thing. Miyato. Very nice. Or Namikaze, sorry, not Miyato. First move, Kunai Teleportation. You may be seeing this for the third time, you're like, that's a lot of teleportation moves. This one's the best one. It only costs 5 chakra, so the thing to do it is very low. Kunai Blitz. You shoot a bunch of explosive kunais. They're only explosive if they hit someone. If they hit their ground, they don't do anything. Special Shielding, where you get yellow particles and you can't move. The reason this is so cool is basically you can't take any damage. Any damage inflicted to you gets turned into chakra. So basically all attacks become null to you for a couple seconds. Now, my thought process with that one was when Miyato did that whole thing where he, you know, what's it called? Made that tailed beast bomb disappear during the war arc. He had to like teleport it away. So that's his healing. Yeah, that's Miyato's clan. Namikaze. Pretty good. Next we got Uzumaki. I think I'm not gonna be Uzi. Yeah. So everything else requires ninjutsu and points, obviously. This requires kenjutsu because it's all sealing. So I come over here, do that, and now we can use all of those. So the first move is Adamite Chains. You shoot 3 chains. Each of them can steal up to 50 chakra for you, or 100. I forgot. I think 100 actually. That's pretty overpowered. Each of them could have to steal up to 100 chakra and give them directly back to you. Yeah, you get 100 chakra regardless, even if they don't have it. But if they don't have 100 chakra and stealing from them, they just hit 0, like it flatlines them. Chakra sealing. Oh, this one's kind of overpowered actually. Uzumaki's really good. What it'll do is everybody will have this little yellow flash on them for a second, and you'll be like, oh, I didn't do anything. On their screens, they just got a message that said half your chakra has been stealed away, and basically half of their current chakra, not their max chakra, current chakra, just disappeared. It doesn't go to you, just dissipates into the air. And then Reaper Death Seal, which, let's get this guy over here, for example. It's an AoE, and it's gonna, oh, I didn't do anything, just some little spike effects. Yeah. But what it does is, I didn't want to make it too unfair, but if we hit this guy twice, you'd see it sets everybody who's affected by it to half a heart, including yourself. Everyone goes to half a heart who's affected by it. Yeah, I feel like that's a fair way of making it since the Reaper Death Seal is pretty OP. I've made a lot of iterations of it. Sometimes in my mod it's Stole Your Soul, sometimes it's on whatever, but this version does that. Now for the Akimichi one, I just based off the Sasuke retrieval arc where he pops different pills to do different stuff. So first pill, ground pound, probably curious what's going on there. Did I don't think he did further or anything. But anyways, so you don't pay with chakra, you pay with health, and that includes if you're in game mode. You're paying with health regardless, basically. So fist pound, it's an AoE move. Oh wait, no, it's not. It's a projectile. You like shoot your fist out. But basically, what it does is you don't pay with. You know, you're seeing. You can see it below. You pay with hearts rather than you paying with chakra. So this move takes 2 hearts. Ground smash, which is the AoE one. Gotta grab more husks. Ground smash, AoE, put a little effect and attack everybody. And then butterfly jutsu. Go into this cool mode. There's a lot of stuff going on here. It's a very, very good mode. One of the better ones in the game. The only thing is you die at the end of it, which is why I made it so good. Like it has like really strong strength and stuff, as you can see. Very, very strong. A lot of absorption stuff. But you die at the end. So, alright guys, I'm back. I'm sorry. Did all these, and we are on to the items. All the other fun stuff this mod has to offer other than just jutsu. And we still have some jutsu in here too, so I will say we did lose some of our guys. Just over the past however long it's been since I started the recording of this video. It feels like forever. Got these 2 guys. This is a shinobi dealer. Both of them have the same spawn rate, which is a little bit less than Witches. And basically you click him and you can buy stuff off him for certain amounts of money. So as you can see, we actually had enough money for that. We've killed so much stuff, we got enough money to buy one of these things. That's crazy. But normally you can just see how much it is. So random shinobi items, you can get a lot of stuff. Summoning scroll, you can do the Jinchuriki system, which I'll go over. And Orochimaru scroll is how you get your new jutsus and all of that. So yeah, that's that. And then the Anbu teach I'll go over in a little bit. So first off, we're gonna do the Ghetto statue. Basically, when you hold it, you can see how many sacrifices you put inside this thing. I believe I'm already a Jinchuriki. Yeah, I am already a Jinchuriki. So I could put one of these statues. Ooh, I don't need the stat requirements. I need 100 Kenjutsu. Alright, I'm gonna go on pause real quick and come right back with you guys. I do not want you to have to see me quick do all of this. So I'll be right back. Okay, and I'm back with all my Kenjutsu. And I promise you guys I clicked all that. There's no command. I wish there was, and I should have made a command for that. Anyways, yeah, you sacrifice your tailed beast inside of yourself so they get a statue. I'm gonna make it in the future so you can just snatch it out of people. I think I'm gonna make it so you have to put people in like a certain genjutsu and then use a certain ceiling and then hit them with it and it'll steal their Jinchuriki. But for right now, you're able to sacrifice your own to it. As you can see, you have 1 out of 9 sacrifices. Once you have 9 sacrifices, actually, I'm gonna get rid of my Rinnegan. You're gonna, get the 10 tails. So I'll show that off later. Yeah. Next, we have the Zero Tails DNA. It's cost a lot of medical jutsu. Is that medical? Yeah, medical spell, right? Okay. Anyways, the Zero Tail DNA and the 10 tails are the only unique ones when it comes to the getting a tail beast, because both of these have what's it called? Their own thing. So Zero Tails is just from like some filler movie. So yeah, that's in the game, and then the 10 tails is obviously the 10 tails. You get the Zero Tail DNA from this guy, which by the way, those are 2 random items of the random shinobi items. You can get the Zero Tails DNA and also the Ghetto statue from that. Like the next one, we got the Orochimaru scrolls. So the way these work is they have a 1% chance of getting you the Hashirama DNA, which is the DNA you need to get the Rinnegan. Which once again, going over the Rinnegan again, I don't think I fully explained it. Once you have the Mangekyo, the Hashirama DNA, there is a 0.33 chance every time you kill something, you're able to awaken the Rinnegan. So that's that. Anyways, there's I believe like 70% chance, no, 60% chance you get an elemental stuff. So I imagine if I open this right now, I'm going to get an element. Yep. If I were to open a stack, you can kind of see what the rates are. So I'm just going to hold this, you can kind of see. You don't get much like KKGs, you get a lot more elemental stuff. Yeah, I actually can't open a stack because I'm creative, but yeah, you get a lot of elemental stuff. Not that many KKG, and getting a clan jutsu is very rare, not impossible. It's just a 9% chance, so way rarer than getting a KKG or that stuff. So getting something like, for example, Nara, the ability to use Shadow, that's an only 9% chance from that scroll. Whereas getting something like any of these guys is like 30% chance, and getting any of these guys is 60% chance. Next, you have the Orochimaru summoning, which is another thing you can get from the random shinobi item. Basically, with the smoke effect, and Orochimaru gets summoned. Now we're just going to set our tie to something like crazy high, kill Orochimaru, and you get a trainer. I'll go over the trainer in a second. But Orochimaru, he is, by the way, that's a very strong boss right there. I just kind of buffed myself beyond belief. But he has a 10% chance to drop an Orochimaru scroll, which are what give you your jutsu and stuff, these guys. But he has an indefinite chance to drop you a trainer. Next, you have the Jinchuriki summon. I'm going to do this in here. Actually, no, I don't even know why I was scared of it. Does smoke effect, and the Jinchuriki gets spawned, which has the same amount of health as the other guy. They each have their own things. So, for example, Orochimaru has like a longer hit distance and is immune to different things than Jinchuriki is, but the Jinchuriki is faster but does less damage, etc., etc. No reach or whatever. Anyways, you get a tailed beast scroll from that, which can give you a random tailed beast, 1 to 9. So I got the 1 tails. We're gonna come back to this later. Next, you have the Genin quest line. I'm not gonna go over all the quest line stuff, but basically, each of these has their own series of quests, which kind of follow where the player should be at this point in their training. So, Genin quests are kind of like get wood, you know, get a bed. Whereas once you finish this, you go on the tuning quest, which are like, you know, go to the Nether, do stuff like that. And then this one, which is like, you know, fight the like Ender Dragon and things like that, get chorus fruits. So they kind of, based on where you're at in the story, is where you're going to be with these quest lines. And of course, they have rewards and stuff, including tree jumping, which is a thing. I never went over that. Tree jumping is a thing. Doesn't work right now because I haven't unlocked it, but you unlock it through the story mode, and you also get your elemental. You get another elemental at some point in the story, and you get an Orochimaru scroll. So pretty good, along with a bunch of other stuff like points and the ability to tree jump and kunais and all sorts of goodies. Next, you have the trainer. You have a training boost for the next 2 minutes. It's another item you can get from that random shinobi item, but also from the Orochimaru drop. And basically, the way it works is for your EXP, if we grab something like a husk, husk, which has 20 health. We have a lot of, I forgot it's not going to be registering correctly. 1 sec, sorry. Grab a sword over here. As you can see, we leveled up a lot, and the reason is because we didn't get the normal 20, we got, actually, okay, so it's 10 out of 50, so you actually see a lot clearer now. Normally we'd be at 30 after this, but because we have the trainer on, we are at, okay, so normally we'd be at 20, but now we're at 30. Basically, oh, okay, no, sorry, I did the math wrong. You get whatever the entity's max health is normally for EXP. With the trainer on, you get their EXP times 1.5, so you get like you get 150% of their like EXP. So that's the way that trainer works. And I believe there's probably more, right? Yeah, sake. So for the Lee clan, they obviously don't have any jutsu, but they do get more on sake. They only get 3 of them, and it's hard to get. You can get them off this guy. But anyways, they give a really, really, really strong mode. I think it's one of the strongest mode in the game. Yeah, it's very, very interesting. But they get nausea the whole time, so very balanced. Some other things I didn't go over, I'm just gonna go over real quick. Holding V will charge your chakra. And then lastly, we can go over the Jinchuriki. So we don't have a Jinchuriki right now. So we're gonna go over the 1 tails. Pop dance. 100 medic, of course I need 100. Okay, I'm not gonna do all that. I am just going to set beast. We're gonna stick to the. I kind of want to have Matatabi to show. Matatabi's cool. And then we're gonna set beast level to 0, I think. Ooh, no, 0 is too much. Okay, sorry. -1. So -1 is what you start with, and basically when you try to turn on your beast, it rejects your caldera chakra. Yeah. And then we're gonna do reset or set timer, I think. Yeah. There's a timer whenever you have a beast, and it starts off at 0. And basically, if we grab a husk, if we grab a husk, you saw it earlier, kind of by accident on my end. I'll be honest, but if we go into game mode survival, summon a husk. Forgot I had. Okay, yep. Forgot I gave myself all that taijutsu. Okay, anyways, okay. I mean, he could kill us. I'd rather he just did it faster though, so I missed the fence. Alright. Trash off what, yeah, okay, so basically, when you get to really low health, it's just like the Matthew X on this one. You get to really low health, the tail beast will save you, and it says, hey, don't go dying on me, I only need some more power, but I won't do this often. And you get your tail beast mode turns on automatically, your level increases, and yeah, so we just got the first tail for a tail beast. This is what the mode looks like. You just get the little effects and stuff, which the effects will get cool later on. But the main point is, that's how you get it. And then after an hour in game, I think it is, around an hour, roughly, maybe like 45 minutes, that timer resets and you're able to get saved by the tail beast again. Now, there is a couple levels to this. So -1 is going to be, that's when it's unawakened. So it's unable to be used yet, but it's still there. Basically just means die a little bit and it'll come out and then you're able to use it. Then it goes to level 0, which is what you just saw. Then there's level 1, which is the next stage, which basically just, you know, you get more stuff. And then level 3 or 2, sorry, you get more stuff again, but you're still in this red mode. You get in the red mode until level 2. You stay until level 2, and you can see you slowly get your more and more buffs and all that. And then once you hit level 3, I believe that's the final mode I have in there right now. Yeah, it is. And you get particle effects adjacent for what your beast is. So I have Matatabi, of course. So I have blue particle effects. If I was to set my beast to, let's say, what's it? Oh, it's 3 tails. Let's see, 3 tails. Get this one. That's the Isebu one. 4 tails. I think that's, yeah, it's the lava one. So you get that red again. It's a bit more orange though. 5 tails is Chromie, I think. So you get the yellow. 6 tails is Psychen. So you get white, I think. Yeah, you get this bluish white lavender color. Psychen's my favorite, by the way. And then 7 is maybe that's the lava one. I'm not too familiar on everything. But I don't know them by exact digit. I only know like the key ones. 8 is of course the octopus guy. Really blanking on all these names right now, but you get purple, and then of course when you go to 9, you get that beautiful orange for Kurama. Now as for if we go to 0, which is the 0-tail beast, you have this white, and then if we go to 10, you have the gray, which is the 10 tails. Doesn't look that cool now. It's gonna look a lot cooler, but the point is all the functions are in here for tail beast. They're just not, you know, they don't look very distinctive other than their final form where they get different colors. Once again, Psychen's my favorite, not just because of the lavender color. I just like Psychen in general because of Shinro Life, where that was my first like tail beast I got. But anyways, that's everything. I hope you guys enjoyed. This has been a lot of work and effort and late nights in the process, and also 2 years of experience to be able to get to this point. So yeah, I don't know. I hope you guys enjoyed. Put a lot of work into this. If you have any suggestions, please leave them in the comments. I'm really open to suggestions. Feel free to join the Discord, and if you want to play the mod and do all that stuff, it's going to be in the description, the link to it. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I hope you guys like seeing the mod. Peace.